Majority of my life, my dad has been an addict of drugs and alcohol, and in and out of prison most of my life. And for me, growing up with that, it was very difficult. We didn't know any better, me and my brother. We didn't know any different. And it became the norm for us, which is sad to say, but yeah, it was really hard. I remember people coming in and out of my father's house at all hours, buying drugs from him. I remember finding paraphernalia in the cupboards, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, pipes used to smoke methamphetamines. And women that would come over to our house would steal from me, steal my clothes, shoes. And my dad, sometimes he would, stay up for days and then be asleep for days. Being around drugs, statistically they say that 70% of children follow in their parents' footsteps. And, being around drugs and having that environment, was a way of life. And they say your surroundings and the way you grow up influences what you're going to do in your life and what the life you're going to lead. And my dad, I remember when I was in high school, I was 15 years old and I was living with him, and he told me that one of the rules of the house was that if I brought home any drugs, that I had to share them with him. And so this is supposed to be, your father, your role model, and here he is glorifying drug use. And so yeah, that was my influence. First time I was arrested, I was 26, and I've been arrested a few times, but the last one where I actually went to prison, federal prison, I was 36 years old. I found out I was pregnant right after my arrest. At that moment, it was one of the most impactful turning points in my life, because I knew that if I didn't change my life, that my son wasn't going to have a chance. And there was no way that I was going to be the same kind of parent to my child, that my father was to me. I knew that if I didn't turn my life around, I didn't want my son to follow in my footsteps. So I decided right then and there I was going to change my life. While I was out fighting my case, they put me in a halfway house, and I was still struggling there. I had dreams and thoughts of wanting to use drugs, and I thought to myself, I need to get into treatment. I need to learn the skills necessary to be able to stay sober and, for the rest of my life. And I didn't know how. So I enrolled myself into a faith-based recovery program called Adult and Teen Challenge. And that's where I started my spiritual journey of healing. At Teen Challenge, I think for about 6 or 7 months, during this whole time while I was still fighting my case and praying to God that I wasn't going to go to prison. And unfortunately, that was not in his plan. And I got a 4-year sentence in federal prison. But thankfully, the judge sent me to a prison close by, or closer to Sacramento than the prison that they originally wanted to send me to, which was in Minnesota. And they sent me to Dublin Federal Correctional Prison in the Bay Area.